Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Kyle Slayton from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, making another video. Please excuse me, like I have a lot of mutilation, like up, around my ear and my neck because of biometrics over here. And I want to make a video just kind of like my attackers have lied really big time about me, and I was holding off. Like, I keep on kind of making videos for leverage because it's like I'm in Vietnam. Like, and my parents are being hurt by microwaves. Um, and it's gotten really big. So I want to kind of make a video telling my side of the story because some really higher up people are involved with my targeting now because the people in the group targeting me have made this super massive when I went up to Canada. Um, I am going to be putting some more of those videos up, like when I was up near the Arctic. But I kind of wanted to just proclaim that when I went up to Canada, like because something massive, like my attackers did massive contracting, like up in the northeastern territories of Canada, which and I got these teeth fixed just recently. I'm getting my teeth fixed, and the guy like took out something like huge from this tooth right here that he's fixing. So I want to clear my name. Like, I wasn't gonna make videos because it's getting very violent. It's like I'm in Vietnam. Like, I woke up with like my heart like feeling like it was like kind of burnt to a crisp. They're also doing like Kabbalic, like kind of satanic sex rituals like on the V2K. They do the V2K and like kind of fake sex a lot, but they also have sex on top of me. And they're getting a lot of other people. Like, they're telling me on B2K that they're trying to get other targeting groups to like have sex on top of other people to do like spirit cooking stuff. So it's massively satanic, and it's like massively like I'm in frickin' Vietnam like every day. Um, so let me slow down because like my heart is like really kind of like feels like it's cooked in my neck. This is the worst thing, like up by my jugular vein. They have it like tightens my neck and stuff like that because they don't want me speaking out. I've tried to like kind of be quiet and compromise because it's gotten violent towards my family. I'm worried about my family's safety, right? So this is like massive warfare. And I'm sure all of you targeted individuals like know what I'm talking about. I have to speak out. Like, I have no choice, right? So I'll be making a lot of videos. Right now, I don't feel very good. Like, my chest is really hurting. It's kind of hard to talk. But I'm going to make an initial video, and I want to put this point out for anybody like around my situation, uh, anybody that could help. I went to Canada to go to the Arctic Ocean to Laffy Taffy the problem for my attackers and mitigate problems. Like, they're blaming me, and people up in like the Yukon and the Northeast Territories like brought it down here and stuff like that, saying that I caused trouble like when I went up there. And I have never done anything. I've never caused trouble. I've been trying to get away from this stuff. Um, so I wanted to like make it clear, like when I went up there, like I went all around the United States, and it was mixed in with like right after my grandmother died, and it's like I was there for her last breath. Something majorly spiritual happened to me that was saying, you need to run. You need to run. And God was there. He was going to help out our group to get out of it, right? That's a long story to explain. And this is just an initial video where I'm going to make a bunch more videos. But right now, like, my chest kind of hurts. I'm having trouble talking. It's that bad. It's way worse. It's the problem with me is that like it looks like I'm kind of okay, and I've had trouble like kind of getting help. We all do as targeted individuals, right? I've had trouble getting help because it doesn't look like I'm dying, right? But like over on the side of my head, and like in my ear, and like in my jaw joint, and like over on my throat, and down to my heart. I mean, like in a lot of places, it really hurts. And they've been doing it so long, and like my parents, it's just nobody in the system, police, like my parents, doctors, They don't have any kind of tools. They have no methods to do anything about this, right? But they have methods to like make you look crazy or put you in a behavioral center, or try and get you in jail, or help out with the microwave weapons, or help out with the community stalking. There's no tools to like fight this, so it's a massive, war, right? And I know it because like I'm like a real example, because like I've talked to so many police, so many emergency rooms that like say, hey, your record's clear and you don't have anything on it, but that FISA flag or whatever they're using, like my attackers, like I think went even further than a FISA flag and put something on there that's like way more secretive than even that, like an assassination attempt. They threaten over the V2K that they're going to kill my family, like all the time, and it's become like a pathetic war, like where they're having sex on the V2K all the time, and I have biometrics like near my spine and near my heart, like near my stomach. So they're doing this awful protocol of just having sex like all the time, right? And going, like the stuff they say is disgusting. Like it's disgusting. It's way more than any kind of disgusting warfare. So I want to put it out that like a major situation happened. I drove all over America to get away from it and couldn't. It's like in every state they would just call an emergency. And then I went up to Canada. I went through Alberta and through BC up to the Yukon, up to the Northeast Territories. When I got out of like the Northeast Territories, like when I was crossing the border back, and that was a war. Like in the Northeast Territories, like when I was driving up to Eagle Plains, like I didn't hear the high pitched sound. It's like the pain went away, right? But then I got to Eagle Plains. I needed to change my tires, and so they started calling the guy who like worked in the tire shop and telling him to like postpone the tires, right? They had the tires for like 3 weeks that I needed, right? Because they had to ship them in from another place, but they held it over like 3 weeks. And then all these like motorcycle surveillance groups. I mean, I'm talking about like people in RVs with equipment, like massive, tons of like armies of ants, right? With these RVs and mercenaries on motorcycles who wouldn't even talk to me. Like a couple of people like talk to me, but flowing these people through an Eagle Plains is like this little it's like a little way station, right? It has a restaurant and a hotel, a place to fix the tires, and then to fix big trucks on the Dempster Highway. Look up the Dempster Highway because I drove all the way up and down it. This was a disaster. Like what happened there was like warfare with like mercenary armies that were going to the next cities and rabble rousing. And I think they went to those next cities, like they went to Fort McPherson, Inuvik, and Tuktoyaktuk. They went up to those cities and were telling people that I had like killed kids. Like I don't know, but they like I was gonna bomb someplace, like massive false flag, like not just targeting lies, like oh, this guy may have done something and he's under investigation, like getting like whole cities thinking that I was going to come like bomb a building or something like that. Like that's how big they made it up in the Northeast Territories. I didn't make of it like I've been like toned down on my videos because it's massive. It's like what they did up there to me followed me down from like Inuvik, from like these Northeast Territories, and they kept building like infrastructure, like running all the community policing like to my place, like to my position in the Northeast Territories, to my position in the Yukon. And then when I got out of the Yukon, like a national security thing was like called in all of Canada. Like they did some, I'm not sure what happened on the other side, but there were like people funneling into like Banff, Canada, and like these other places like Fairview, all these places like up in the Yukon, like the BC and Alberta. They did something massive around me, like where it was running community policing. Like people thought there was like some kind of terrorist thing going on, and it moved people. They moved like whole places of like certain people in the know, like using these programs and stuff, like calling some kind of terrorist alert, like in many places, like many cities in Canada. So they did something that moved a lot of massive money, like municipal funds and like all these contractors making money around me. So now they're trying to kill me. Like, and I said, and like I've been telling them, because this is very scary. Like I was like, hey, I'll shut up about it. My family's in danger and stuff like that. I'll just be quiet, and I'll kind of like talk about it later, because I've helped a lot of targeted individuals. This is really dangerous. Like, I went up there to get away from it, and they created something like a shitstorm that is beyond belief, where they moved so much money, like millions of dollars in like municipal funds and contractors making money. And now they're like, on the V2K, they're like having sex on top of me, using like Kabbalic rituals and stuff like that. It doesn't feel good, like in the spirit. It feels like a dark spirit. It's affected my spirit. There's stuff involved in my targeting that I'm like, I have to speak out now. I have no choice, because my body, the parameters are not such that I can die. I'm praying to God about it, and I'm like, what do I do here? What do I do? Right? But it's like, it's time to speak out, because it's so massive what they did. Me and my recently deceased grandmother's car, she died about, I think, 3 years ago. I'm not sure. Just driving around the United States and then up to Canada, they created this massive like influx and like kind of money grab from this program. It was massive. I don't know the details of what happened on the other side, but it's crime. It's such a rate. Like, they changed the infrastructure of targeting in like Canada, and changed the infrastructure of targeting in like the United States, due to me passing through areas, because of the pull that the contractors microwave me had. It's scary, very scary. Like, and like all the while, and the reason why they did that is because there's this special thing that happened, like an evolution of the spirit, where it's like, I can't even explain it on the video right now. It's going to be too many crazy things at once, right? But I'm going to be making a bunch of other videos. I'm going to go ahead and put this out. They've done massive things, and what I want the people involved, like, telling you other people, other guys, you men and women who are targeted. It's like, I don't know how much you're gonna believe about this, because y'all weren't there. It's kind of like you had to be there. But I want to say it for the people who were actually involved in like the gang stalking. Like, I'm talking about nights where I'd be driving in, I think in the Yukon, like driving back to the United States, and they'd be driving like 18 wheelers, like big caravans of traffic coming through places, based off of me and my dead grandma's car. Um, so like a massive like military change in like how they're doing the targeting, based off of just me, just one guy trying to go to the Arctic. So now it's like my family is in a lot more danger. They've been targeted, but I just went to Pensacola, and they hit me in there with like radar. Like, I think that the method is, I have biometrics in my system, and some of you guys, I think everybody has like biometrics, but I have a lot because I went through medical stuff. And they shoot like a radar where they sometimes they don't even know where the biometrics are. They just shoot it at a point, and it like activates stuff in your body, right? So I was thinking they had like this equipment where they were like precisely activating like a biometric in the body or near the heart or anything. They just shoot like radar that makes it like, send signals. It might not be right. That might not be right, because I'm on the other side of this, right? But they did something so massive in the Northeast Territories, because like the Constitution's different in Canada, and it was a place where it's like, I don't think a lot of targeting had been seen, or it had been done differently. But using me and using whatever kind of flagging they put on me in the United States, building it up in Canada, like with me trying to just get away and mitigate the, ringing in the ears, and it's way more. Like, it's like mutilation of the body. Like, it like hurts my chest. Like, I'm sure like all you targeted individuals know, right? Um, so I wanna make this video. I've been holding off because it's so dangerous. Like, I could make this video and be murdered, but they're trying to kill me anyway. Like, the way that I woke up today, and like every day, it's intense warfare, like against me. And I look in my family's eyes, like my dad and my mom, they're being hurt. Like, my mom is like I'm telling her like, hey, I need to get out of the country. Like, that would be the wisest thing for the family. And she's like refusing to give me more. She's like mind controlled. She's like working. She's like, oh, like, building up a bunch of stuff in like another house or something like that, but she refuses to give me a couple of $1,000 like to save my life, right? So it's massive warfare where my family doesn't understand. She's like the best mom ever that you could ever have. My dad is too, but they've been mind controlled and messed around with so much. And I think they sense a danger in the situation where they kind of want me to be quiet and stuff like that. This is massive. So I'm going to be making a bunch of other videos. I don't want to like, it's Sunday morning. So I'm not trying to panic anybody, but the deal is, it's very serious and it's kind of like, it's like do or die. Like it's like I don't have a choice but to speak out anymore. And I want everybody that's involved in trying to hurt me to understand that I've tried to like, and I hate telling you other target individuals that because we really need to speak out. We really don't have a choice. These people that have done it to me, they've never compromised. I've always tried to like give them breathing room to let me go or to mitigate it, and they've always used it to like beef it up. And what they did, like when I was up in Canada, was massive. Like it was super massive, and it was just around one targeted individual. And like I'm worried, I'm very worried that the kind of infrastructure that they're changing can hurt other targeted individuals up there and hurt other targeted individuals in the states that I came down, um, to come back home. Like the kind of intense like traffic driving where they're like driving all the community policing, basically like it's either in the city or the state to my area and like calling some kind of terrorist alert, like doing big stuff that I'm not sure of. But that's why I almost got murdered. I almost got killed by an 18 wheeler because they were also like when I was driving, right? They're hitting my light. Somebody's hitting the fuse like in my engine, in the spot of my engine to turn my lights off, right? So they're like turning my lights off, and then I have to get over to the right, and then I almost get killed by an 18 wheeler. So it's massive. It's like very dangerous. I really wanted to do this a smart way, but they're hurting me so bad, and they're hurting my head too, where it's hard to do things super thoughtfully and like really pick my words carefully. So this is kind of like a cry for help. This is a cry for help for anybody that knows about my situation. It's also kind of a battle cry to you targets out there. We have to speak out. These people are crazy. They're not gonna. You can't just wait this thing out. Like you can't. Like it's bad to speak out and you get in trouble. But what this is doing to our country. If we just stay silent, it's just going to get worse and worse because the kind of people that they have on this equipment, it's like they don't have consciences. They don't care about anything. Like they don't like they're kind of suicidal and dark and satanic and stuff like that. At least the ones like hitting me are. There's some massive like spiritual things that I really want to talk about because it's why they made it so big in Canada. Like I have a strong spirit. Like I've had a strong spirit all my life. It's speaking through me now, right? It's a spirit of Christ, right? It's a good spirit. It's connected to a chain all the way up to the God above all reality. Now, those beliefs and the energy that it gives me and like helping you guys out with videos like in the past and the things that I do to resist evil in my life, it's made my spirit strong. These people on this equipment have been doing it for like 14 years to me. And I guess they go deeper and deeper, right? And so it caused like a massive, like kind of spiritual evolution of the group. And they want to like kind of take more. They want to like spirit cook me and take my spirit and personality, right? The things that God gave me and my destiny in life, right? It's gone that deep, right? It's sick and it's like uber satanic. It's uber satanic and it's very worrisome because they're spreading protocols like that they're doing for me. And like I'm a pretty strong person, guys. I'm not trying to be egotistical, but I'm very strong. Like I keep going even when it feels like I've died the night before. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going through this, but they're passing on like horrific stupidity, like horrific, like having sex on top of target individuals to try and like take their spirits, right? And this is stuff that I kind of need to be careful when I talk about, because there's people that are willing to kill for certain things that God has bestowed upon us as human beings on the earth. It's very serious. Let me read a prayer, guys. And I'm not, I'm not trying to panic anybody, but with my situation, like I'm trying to, balance it. I'm worried about my family. It's gone past like a targeting situation. Like I've called the cops out here. I talked to in Canada, I talked to many RCMP and then emergency rooms trying to put that together, right? Like talking to the emergency room first, or talking to the emergency room first, then going to the police. In Fairview, and I think Fairview is Fairview is still in the Yukon. I'm not sure if Fairview is in the Yukon or in BC, but in Fairview, Canada, I talked to the emergency room and the police, and it actually stopped. Like the ringing in my ears stopped, like a lot of the pain stopped. So sometimes it worked to actually talk to the police. The police, they like my team, the team of contractors doing this to me, like lie to the police in every area, and it's very dangerous because it's not like information about you as a target goes out like when you're in a certain province of Canada or a state in the United States. When you go to a different state or a different province or a different like city, even different cities, uh, they tell my group at least would tell the police like different lies. Like so, the law enforcement on the surface had no like didn't have information flow about what was going on. And my attackers, excuse me, my attackers like used it to create this like flow of building up, like boosting up like the targeting in the area, like on me. And I'm worried that it's like that it affected because I saw some stuff in Canada where it was like the gang stalking there compared to like America was like little zombies like coming into where I eat, like very concerned about like mass mind control, like in these places. Like I mean, it was massive what they did. So like I'm gonna put this video out just as like to see if it'll get them away. They might hurt me worse, but it's war. It's war, and I can't really die. Like, they're over there saying they have a protocol over there where they're saying like we basically stole your spirits that God gave you when you were born, and you need to die for us because we have this great plan and we're gonna like do good stuff in the world. Like that's what they're saying like on their protocol. Now there was spiritual stuff that happened, like that I think could have gotten me, like the targeted individual, and the people like microwaving me. Like God was giving us a gift, and like it kind of it happened like right after my grandmother died, and I was like right over her, and like for her last breath. And I think it spurred something on in my spirit. We have a very complex spiritual like life, and this targeting on my life has caused like an evolution in my body and in my spirit all the way up, to the God above everything. And he's here with me. He's here with y'all. All you got to do is ask him for help. But there's people who are like cretinous Satan worshipers. They're taking advantage of the system. They're terrorists, but they're acting like they're doing good and fighting crime in the system when they're lying to policemen and like murdering people in their houses, right? So I have to make this video. I don't even have wireless in here. I'm gonna have to go like upload it at some kind of restaurant with Wi-Fi. But I want to get it kicked off here. Like I have no choice. Like, and I want the people targeting me if they're watching my videos to know I have no choice. Like, and I didn't because like some of those videos that I've made, like grouping us up together as targeted individuals, it kind of hurts us. There's like a risk to this stuff, and you guys understand that. And like learning about how complex this stuff is, at certain points, I'm just like kind of like I've got to shut my mouth. Like I've talked to people kind of that were more on the interior of it, like kind of just they'd be gang stalking, but they could tell I was a good guy. And I've had like kind of hushed conversations about like, hey, you should maybe do this or that. But then the contractors are like severely murderous, lying to everybody, lying to themselves. Like the two guys that made it so bad when I was driving around the United States and then up to Alberta, BC, the Yukon, and the Northeast Territories. they're like psychopaths. They like lie to everybody, and they're, you know, they got connections, right? They got massive connections. So my family's in danger, and we haven't done crime. I haven't done any crime, and like I can't, you know, I call the police out. It's like the police, you know about this. They know that stuff's going on. I had two state troopers or Texas Rangers. I had two Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers or state troopers. It was in Texas. I actually the night I was trying to go to Pensacola, and I don't know if I said this on the video where I was showing y'all my car. Like they had banged me up so bad in this place that I'm in, and they do. It's like there is people around and remote people, and then these white vans that have these long ends, right? Those are spotters. So if you see those white vans anywhere and you're a target individual, basically they park around you and then they just say you're doing something. They just say that you're causing trouble or whatever, so that your contracting team microwaving you can like can rile people up in the area to like gang stalk you or whatever. I don't have a lot of people like on foot gang stalking me. I have some vehicular stalking. That stuff's kind of slowed down. And I was kind of like trying to mitigate it and kind of shut my mouth because it's very dangerous warfare with these microwave weapons. You know, I got my teeth fixed in Pensacola, and it's dangerous how like they're really mind controlling my family, like and hurting them. But my family is like in denial, right? My mom, my dad, they're doing spiritual stuff to me that has affected the entire family, and then they started affecting my mother and father. Very serious, deep spiritual toxins, right? And like thinking that they're stealing my family's spirits, right? So, and I believe in the spirit. I'm a very spiritual person. There's a science of the spirit. There's a science of the chain of life. Remember that you are connected to a chain of life and life that goes up to the God of all creation. Remember that as target individuals, even if you're people who are maybe like, because I'm not saying I want to help people who are targeting people, guys, that are targets. But those people need to turn around. They need to know what they're doing to people, because a lot of those people who like maybe community police or vehicular police, they don't know what they're doing. They're like zombies. They don't really know what they're doing. And I want to wake them up too, so we can get them on our side and they can start like at least not participating at the very, very least, right? All right. I know this was kind of a intense video, but I'm getting like it's a lot of strain like in my neck and my chest. They're trying to kill me. Like they're trying to kill me, and I worry about my dad because he's already had an aneurysm 10 years ago and almost died and had to relearn how to do everything. And they're still like, you know, they're targeting him. He doesn't admit it. They're targeting my mom. She doesn't admit it. Like my whole family, right? And it's like it's like massive warfare. I don't see another way. I'm trying to be wise and kind of be covert and kind of shut my mouth on things where I could get people hurt, like in my community or my family. I'm very worried about that. But I have my attackers like going, you just need to die for us. Like you need to be quiet because it's going to hurt people if you speak out, because then we'll have to do more serious stuff. Like they call like these emergencies like every day while I'm just sitting in my condo. They'll call like emergencies where terrorist alerts and stuff like that. So they make people crazy, and people are like scared in the area, and they start vehicular policing or community policing. Let me go ahead and wrap this video up. Now I've got like some bad like biometrics like on my back, like in my shoulder blade over here, that they like run up my spine, like up here in my upper spine. So it's pretty serious, like microwaving and stuff. I've been able to survive it, but it's affected me in the spirit. It's affected me in the body. It's affected my nervous system. You know, it's caused some major ruckus, like in my family, right? Where my family, and you know, they can't believe this stuff. They can't believe how big it is. Me and my brother were sitting there where they live, and I don't want to mention where they live, where my brother lives, because he does have a place where I am in Baton Rouge, but he has another place. I guess it's easy to look that stuff up. But these like I'm sitting there on a dirt road out where he has a place. He has a cabin. My mom has a house, you know, there. And there's these like black SUVs, like all with tinted windows, like serious, like driving like these federal vehicles, you know, driving them down the dirt road. Me and my brother are just talking, and I'm trying to like borrow a little bit of money to like get out of the country because I think that's the safest thing for my family. And I can't do it because they've mind controlled my family. They're spiritually affecting my family too. I never really, you know, I've always been a God fearing man. I've always been religious. I've always been spiritual, but I never thought it was so real, like our spiritual lives. And they've affected my family in a very negative way in the spirit. So it's like my brother and my mom, my dad, they would take a bullet for me. They're really a good family, but it's like they won't give me any money. Like I had to like when I was talking to him, I had to kind of like poke him a lot and promise I'd pay it back to just get $100. And like I'm fighting a war where I could die the next day. So that's pretty serious, and I don't know where to go with it, right? I'm trying to get wisdom from God, wisdom in the heart, wisdom in the mind, you know, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Um, but the attackers, like they're cultish, you know, they're cultish, and they're like, what you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? You know, just pushing me. You're not gonna do anything about it. Where it's like huge, where they've like done terrorist like stuff up in the Northeast Territories and can't like the Yukon and blamed it on me. Like people believe like down here that I just went up to Canada and caused some kind of problems, like maybe murdered children and stuff like that, like those kind of lies, or was going to bomb a building or some crap like that big. Like when I was up like in Inuvik and Tuktoyaktuk, they were telling lies like that, like it where it was like a massive like terrorist issue. And that, you know, once that's on the system on their side, even me talking to police, talking to the emergency rooms, when I got back, they put me in a behavioral center when I went to try and get help for pain, right? Again, so they're trying to like set me up as a crazy person yet again, like they did like I think about 10 years ago. You know, they did about 10 or 11 years ago. Um, Excuse me, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here. Um, but massive, like cover up, massive, and like like I'm a guy who mitigates violence. Like I mitigate things. Like you guys know me. Like I've talked about this targeting stuff. I don't want people like attacking their neighbors and stuff like that. I want us to be safe and smart and do things the legal way. Like I'm gonna get on some of the calls. Like I'm worried about the bigness of my situation, and it's like this is the only way. The only way is to like go. I didn't go up to Canada to like cause problems. I went up there to mitigate and to separate from some of this technology that was hurting me and my family. And they were like, you know, saying lies about me that were like way more massive than some of the lies that I've seen on TV about setting people up, right? I think they do this stuff, you know, to Donald Trump. With me, like like I'm not a small person. I'm big spiritually. I can talk to people. You know, people listen to me and stuff like that. But I'm a small targeted individual. Like there was no violence coming from me. The worst thing I've ever done in life as a crime is smoke marijuana, right? In a city that really it's frowned upon, right? You can get a ticket for it. And now it's like not even like that in my city. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. I'm going to go ahead and put this information out because I definitely want people like looking into me and my family who are on the other side of this, not just you targeted individuals who we fight this all the time. I want them to know that I didn't go up to Canada and like do some kind of massive thing or was planning anything. It doesn't work. No violence works or anything against this. You have to play it smart when they're ramming you in the head with microwaves and, you know, trying to hit you like in your neck. It's kind of hard to play it smart. So I'm going to do the only thing that I think I can do now and really speak out and tell my side of the story, right? This is going to be the first of them. I'm also going to do some videos. I think I have some videos and pictures left from when I went up to the Yukon and the Northeast Territories of Canada. It got massive up there because people want to play with their toys, right? Their radar and there, you know, there's people that my group just lied about me to like these surveillance groups and intelligence agencies and stuff where it was like massive, where they were saying that I was like planning stuff. That I don't have proof of that, but because of how big it got, it had to have been some big lies. So I'm going to go ahead and put this out and try and defend myself. I am going to be trying to like seek out a lawyer that can kind of protect my rights. I have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in America. These people who are making money, these contractors and microwavers, they're living off the steam of our founding fathers who made a country for freedom. There's bloodshed and what happened to the Indians and stuff like that, but we were going to a progressive place. We were going to a place where things are just. Life is not fair, but we have a justice system. And this warfare on families, like it's gotten to a bitter point. Like in my situation where, and I'm a very reasonable person, and I decided not to play the hero because I played the hero making those videos after I couldn't get help from the police. You guys know all the work we've done over the years, like the last 10 years or 11 years, right? But it gets to a point, I tried to not play hero and just kind of go to a safer place. Let's get out. Let's go to Canada, the Northeast. I went to Cancun and was almost killed there. They attacked my spine, and they've gone to methods that are far beyond just murdering me with microwaves. They've gone to methods of like, when you're connected to a person like your brother or your mother or a girlfriend, like you have a spiritual connection. These people have been connected for like 14 years in this negative way. Things happen between like me and the people, like spiritual connections that they're now using to do like massively satanic stuff, like to my heart. And I have to like actually declare things like in the name of Jesus Christ. I have to declare things and use what some people would think is like, we don't know a lot about the higher biology, the spirits that guide us, right? Some people do in society. They're using this stuff to attack people in a major way, in a majorly satanic way. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm going to hush up about that. And I've really tried, because some big issues are occurring in my targeting situation. And I'm sure they're occurring in like a lot of other targeted individuals' lives. And you may not know about it because a lot of things my attackers were doing to me that were way above what I thought was going on at the time. And like when I went across the United States and up to Canada, like it all kind of came boiling to a froth, right? And I want to say this, like, I believe in miracles, and I believe in the God above all things, and I believe that we have guardian angels. This is solid, that we have guardian angels, and they gave us a chance to get out. Like, God was trying to breathe life into the situation so we'd make the right choices, and these people, like, crapped on it. They crapped on God's miracles and blessings. He keeps showering them on me, and he'll keep showering them on y'all. Don't stop believing. Right, but some nasty warlike stuff is going on, and I'm going to go ahead and put this video out. I'm going to say a prayer real quick, guys, about the truth. I just want to read these verses. The teachings of the Lord are perfect. They give new strength. The rules of the Lord can be trusted. They make plain people wise. The judgments of the Lord are true. They are completely right. How I love your teachings. I think about them all day long. Your commands make me wiser than my enemies, because they are mine forever. Your words are true from the start, and all your laws will be fair forever. We also know that the Son of God has come and has given us understanding so that we can know the true one. And our lives are in the true one and in his Son, Jesus Christ. He is the true God and the eternal life. I kind of want to do this one about hope, too. The Lord's love never ends. His mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. I say to myself, and I just got these. I'm getting like this other tooth fixed. My parents are like helping me with my teeth. So I'm so blessed to get their help in certain ways. They do help me with a lot of stuff. But then when it's, I'll get into that on another video. Let me read this over. This is Lamentations 3:22 through 25. The Lord's love never ends. His mercies never stop. They are new every morning. Lord, your loyalty is great. I say to myself, the Lord is mine, so I hope in him. The Lord is good to those who hope in him, to those who seek him. Amen. And I want to go in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'm going to go ahead and put this out. And anybody on the other end of my targeting, I also want to clear my name on what everybody, if somebody thinks I've done something serious, I have done no crimes. Like, I've done no violent crimes. And the worst crime I've ever done is smoke weed in Baton Rouge, right? Which I'm not. Like I get like chewable things from the store and stuff like that for pain. All right, guys, I love y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Most definitely. Stay safe. I would it's coming to a head in our country, and if y'all would have seen what I've seen in Canada, you Canadian target individuals, like I have a friend in Canada, and I didn't connect with them up there. I like my phone, they shut my phone off, so I couldn't even use it. But you Canadian target individuals, I really feel for y'all because they have different constitutional stuff, and it was really dangerous. It was like severely dangerous up there, where I almost died like a couple of times. Um, all right, I love you guys. I don't want to make this video, like I said, because I've got people like around in my community, like kind of just following orders on something very extremely dangerous for my family. Um, and it's very very hard to get help or talk about this stuff still when it's almost to a fevered pitch on the continent, like on the continent in the world, like the use of these microwave weapons and like I'm talking about like whole like armies of traffic and armies of ground stalkers like in Canada and like on my way down here, like completely abusing a system that is already abused to like 1,000 times, right? In my situation. So I'm gonna speak out and I'm gonna tell my side of the story. Um, and I'll go from there. Try and use my situation to make other people's situations better. I think it's all very dangerous. It's like if I speak out and like you guys watching my videos, you can get connected to like targeting, right? So I'm like, what do you do? How do you stop this disease, right? This disease that's spreading with people silently murdering people and these two guys, like we were given an opportunity and they kind of sap off of me. Like I have some good gall, some good energy. Like I have chutzpah, right? Like I have some good stuff, right? That and they like sap off of me. They get like almost high off of it, having sex on top of me, and then they go lie to cops and stuff because they feel bigger and they've created a mess. And that's part of it. That's part of it in what they're doing and what they try and do to you guys as target individuals. They feed off of us like vampires. It's sick. And it's becoming more vampiric as they do it and they don't get caught and they stay in the shadows. It's time for the light. Like, I have no other option. And I'll tell you what, all the people that are like, well, you kind of need to be smart about this stuff and kind of, keep your mouth shut on certain. I've tried. Like, I have tried to play ball with the system and not make a mess because of these people doing all this crap. And it doesn't work. And it hasn't worked. And God screams into my heart, just speak out, blow the horn, blow the wall down. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be reading a lot of Bible verses. And we're going to be speaking a lot about the Spirit, about what you have connected to you in a way that's, that's good, that's gonna be beneficial for human beings. It's not going to like collect power like some people are doing in society, feeding off of people, feeding off of their families, all right, guys, I love y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.